Welcome to Beach Jam Media, your resource-driven oasis with your host, Jennifer Corbin-Carson. Join us each week as we dive into hot topics and essential materials for individuals and businesses. We invite you to get your feet wet and explore life's offerings. From insightful discussions to practical advice, we're here to navigate the tides of change together. Come join us for Beach Jam Media, where knowledge flows endlessly and where the currents of insight never stop. So come on, let's get our feet wet and explore what's waiting for us on the beach.
Hi, everybody. Sorry we're a day late. I wasn't feeling quite up to par yesterday. So my name is Jennifer Corbin-Carson, your host for Beach Jam Media. I'm a mom, a veteran, a grandma, an entrepreneur, a business owner, and a wife, a homeschooler. The list can go on and on. I wear obviously many hats, but today I am your resource. I'm wearing the resource hat today for you. At Beach Jam, we give you resources to help you navigate the waves of change, and we have a great show for you today, like always. So stay with us, and we'll be right back.
Beach Jam Media is your resource-driven oasis, hosted by Jennifer Corbin-Carson. Each week, we dive into hot topics and essential resources for individuals, businesses, veterans, and their families. Join us for insightful discussions and practical advice as we navigate the tides of change together. At Beach Jam Media, knowledge flows endlessly and insights never stop. Contact us to be a part of our show at our email address, beachjammedia@gmail.com.
You've been watching Beach Jam Media with Jennifer Corbin-Carson. We invite you to jump back in and keep your feet wet with us as we continue to be your guide through the waves of change. Now let's dive back into the show.
Hi again. So today we are talking about care in the community or community care network with the VA. So that is if you live so many miles, I think it's 75, miles from a hospital, a VA hospital, that you can get care in the community. And what that means is that if you live far enough from a facility, from a VA facility, that you can get care from doctors out in your community that accept the VA insurance. So what happens there is it's mostly, in my experience, it's been mostly specialists and those doctors that the VA could not send me to or have available at the Dublin VA hospital. So the specialists that take the VA insurance they will make appointments and they will take care. The VA will take care of the cost for you, most likely. Now there might be a small copay or a copay with the VA insurance, but you need to figure that out beforehand and see if it's going to cost you anything. So that means calling the VA and calling the insurance, calling the VA and figuring out, sorry, I had a gnat, calling the VA and asking them if there is going to be a copay for your visit, so you know beforehand. And I do believe that they don't require it at the time of service. They will bill you. The VA will bill you. And you can get that on your account as well at va.gov. And you can go in there and you can see how much you owe from your visits. So I've already gone over what is care in the community. So how it works is that there's a couple different ways that it works depending on what kind of doctor that you have to go see. So if you are doing a specialist, eye care is a little different, but if you're going to see a specialist, you go to your primary care doctor and you say, you have your meeting, and your primary care doctor at the VA says that here, you need to go to, say, we'll take my example, with my experience. So you have to go to a movement specialist, a neurologist that is a movement disorder specialist. And the VA doesn't have any here. So I have to go to Emory for that. Well, what I did was I Googled the closest VA, the closest neurologist and a movement disorder specialist to see which one takes the VA insurance or who is in their network. So once I did that, I talked to Care in the Community. And so what you do is here, you dial the main VA, Dublin VA line, and it will prompt you for Care in the Community. So once I spoke to them, and they will ask you, what doctor do you want to go see? Well, I already knew from my research that I wanted to see somebody in Emory, which is in Atlanta, for people that don't know. So I told them I want to see this doctor. They said, yes, they're in our network. And so they set up the referral. Once you get the referral and paperwork, then the office, the Emory office, or whatever specialist office that you're going to, should call you for an appointment. Well, you have to be careful too, and you will get a packet that has the referral and everything in it and what it covers. So what it is there's a time frame. Usually it's a year, and you get a year to go see this doctor from your first appointment. So normally the specialist will report back to the VA and says, okay, we have this appointment for her. This is when you can start her time. So you will have a year to go to this doctor, and it will lay out in that packet what is covered under those services. So if it's a generalized visit, you might have to get, a special, well, not you, but the doctor may have to get an authorization for, specialized injections or whatever you need, x-rays, if it's not in that packet. So read your packet very carefully. And about a month and a half before that authorization is due to expire, make sure you call. And usually, in my experience, the offices of the doctor that you're seeing, the specialist, is usually on top of it and will request for another authorization because they need to keep seeing you. If they don't need to keep seeing you, then they won't ask for another authorization. But the specialists that I have seen need to keep seeing me, so they will ask. They'll go back to community care and say, we need more time with her. We need another authorization. So initially, or how it's supposed to work, is that once they request that, the community care will go back and say, okay, well, she has another appointment here, so let's get her an authorization for more time. And then they send out another packet. It's not that easy. And I can see why people do not use the VA network. I get it. But once you start and you get rolling with how the processes work, then I think you'll get it, and you'll just keep rolling with the punches. But you do have to follow up with them, and you do have to follow up with your specialists. So make sure, put it on your calendar when the stuff expires, when your authorizations expire, and when you should follow up with the VA. What I have learned is that when the doctor's office, so there's usually one person that takes care of the VA authorizations. And so when they send that over to the community care network, they fax it. Get the fax number, the last four of the fax number that they sent it to, because it's easier for that person at the community care to find it in their system. If you don't get the last four of the fax number, they most likely, in my experience, have not been able to find it. So then you have to go back to the doctor's office and say, okay, please send this again and get the last four, give me the last four of the fax number so I can have them look it up. If your doctor's office follows up with the community care, then make sure they have the last four of the number that they sent it to. They can pull it up just like that. I have had people that if I don't have that last four, they said, no, it's not in the system. And when I call back with the last four of the fax number, then they were able to find it a lot quicker. So make sure you have that last four of the phone number that they faxed it to if you're following up for them. But remember, you only get a certain amount of time. So make sure you read that, and they put it in bold letters, bold text in your packet that they send you. So they will send you a packet that says, this is your time frame that you have to see the specialist, and this is what's covered. Anything outside those guidelines is not covered, and you possibly may need another authorization for that type of visit that you need, or a separate, like say it's an injection or something like that, then a separate authorization for that. So then you're waiting more time to get everything covered. So just an FYI, make sure that you have everything covered under that, and go over it with your doctor and say, this is what I need covered, and this is what I need for them to cover so I can go to this doctor. So when your primary care puts it in, then everything's covered. So just an example, let's see, I went to one specialist and they said, so for example, physical therapy, right? So I went to physical therapy because I had neck surgery. And, I said, man, my hip is really bothering me still because I went before. And they kind of looked at me and they said, well, you need a separate authorization for that because we can't treat you for that, which I understand. That's the way it should be, right? But you need to go back to your primary care doctor and say, I need physical therapy for my hip. So just be aware of what is being treated and what can be treated, what is covered, which is in your information packet when you get the authorization. So that is how the community care network has, sorry, I have children and grandchildren. Hey.
Beach Jam Media is your resource-driven oasis, hosted by Jennifer Corbin-Carson. Each week, we dive into hot topics and essential resources for individuals, businesses, veterans, and their families. Join us for insightful discussions and practical advice as we navigate the tides of change together. At Beach Jam Media, knowledge flows endlessly and insights never stop. Contact us to be a part of our show at our email address, beachjammedia@gmail.com.
You've been watching Beach Jam Media with Jennifer Corbin-Carson. We invite you to jump back in and keep your feet wet with us as we continue to be your guide through the waves of change. Now let's dive back into the show.
Okay, sorry about that. I have, a granddaughter that she's 2, so she doesn't understand that I'm on a podcast. So, so thanks for your patience. But anyway, so she might be popping up here in any minute. But yeah, so that's how community care works. And if you guys have questions or anything, feel free to email us at beachjammedia, just like the commercial just said, beachjammedia@gmail.com, or put in the comments below if you have any questions, or you want to see a certain thing or a certain subject on a show. See, I told you she was going to pop in. You want to listen too? But see what washes up. Life is not a script. It will not, it's not a script. And if it was, it would be boring, right? So, but and then after your, you go see the community care network doctor or a specialist or whoever you're going to see. If you don't need it anymore, then they will not renew your authorization. So, and that probably would be a good thing. But just keep on top of that time frame that you have and the appointments that you have, because sometimes the doctor's offices don't keep up with it, and your appointment is after your authorization is over. So you have to really keep track of when I put it on my calendar. So when I see, that, okay, well, my appointment's next week, but my authorization ends today. So how is that going to work? It's not. So at the beginning of the month, start working that and start getting the ball rolling, because sometimes the doctor's offices don't catch it. But anyways, yeah, that's about all I had for today. What do you guys want to see? I'll go back to what I was saying before. What do you guys want to see on the show? We have another guest next week. She is a veterans resource, and she will be joining us next week. Oh no, I'm sorry. At the end of the month. She'll be at the end of the month. But yes, email us here at beachjammedia@gmail.com. And then, wrong way. I always forget it's opposite. And then right here, you can see this QR code. If you want to buy some swag, some Beach Jam Media swag, and help us get the word out, then here we go. There is our QR code for our swag site, and it's got a bunch of cool things. And if you want something other than what is on that website, then contact us at beachjammedia@gmail.com, and we'll see what we can do for you. So I hope you guys have a great week, and let me know what you think of this show and our other resource shows. And you can, sorry, I just had a million things popping in my head. You can email that to beachjammedia@gmail.com, or you can comment below. So don't forget to link and subscribe, and we will see you next week at the beach.
In the calm of early morning, when the day begins anew, we pause to reflect. May holds a special significance beyond just being another month. It is time for solemn remembrance, gratitude, and honoring those who've made tremendous sacrifice for our freedom. To all who served in the military, across all branches, and the National Guard, to the veterans, and to the families who support them through thick and thin, we express our heartfelt thanks. Your courage, sacrifice, and unwavering dedication inspired us deeply. As we commemorate Military Appreciation Month, we recognize the importance of standing by our newest recruits, those brave individuals venturing into an unknown, responding to duties called with determination, deserve our utmost respect and guidance. Equally important is our commitment to support those actively serving in the Air Force, Coast Guard, Army, Navy, Marines, Space Force, and National Guard. Whether deployed abroad or stationed at home, they carry out their duties with honor and integrity. It is our responsibility to ensure they have the resources, care, and unwavering support necessary to fulfill their missions. So, as we observe Military Appreciation Month, let's unite in gratitude and solidarity. Let's honor the past, support the present, and inspire the future. To all who serve, have served, and those who stand beside them, we extend our deepest appreciation. Happy Military Appreciation Month.
Thank you for tuning in to Beach Jam Media with your host, Jennifer Corbin-Carson. We hope today's dive into hot topics and valuable resources left you feeling refreshed and inspired. Our mission is to keep you informed and engaged as we ride the waves of what washes up in life together. Until next time, stay curious, keep the conversation flowing, ask questions, and let the glisten of the shoreline guide your journey. Goodbye.